Hello friends! Today we'll be looking at blind stitch. It's also known as invisible stitch. It's usually used for hems. If you find this video useful, please give me a like and consider subscribing. Thanks in advance. We need to do a little bit of preparation for this stitch. So here is the wrong side of the fabric. We need to fold the hem over and iron. Make sure that that line is super crisp. On the back of the hem we sew a long running stitch, and on the right side of the fabric you only catch a couple of fibres. This makes the stitch on the right side almost invisible, hence the name invisible stitch. I wanted to use a fabric that clearly has a right and a wrong side, and I'm trying to use a bright coloured fabric, but it's still really difficult to see, so I apologise if it's a little bit hard. The name is invisible stitch after all. So I'm showing you this in real speed, and with this stitch I do tend to flip between front and back, especially to be able to see the front and make sure that I'm hiding those stitches. I'm sorry that this isn't easier to see. By nature of the stitch, like being an invisible stitch, it is pretty hard to be able to see on the right side, but I hope you're kind of getting the idea of it. The idea being that you get a long stitch on the back and then catch just a few fibres on the front. The stitch will be secure enough to hold up a hem, but it's not really something that you'd use for a seam. Those tiny little stitches could pull out of the fabric because they're not really held on by much. If you're doing a hem, you need to be sewing the long stitches on the other side quite close to the edge of that piece of fabric that you folded up, to make sure that none of your hem hangs down. I just wanted to quickly show you tying this off. When I have a really long tail, I'll put my hand into that loop, grab the needle and then pull through. So on the right side of that fabric, those stitches are barely visible. I've done a little overlay here of where they are, so you can just see them. I always use this stitch to finish like the hem of a dress on a doll or even on a human piece of clothing. It really gives a fantastic finish and makes it look professional. I feel like we're starting to get into some really specialist stitches, so let me know if you use this. And the stitch I'm going to show you next week, it's probably a good idea to at least practice this one on a scrap piece of fabric to make sure that you can do the stitch for next week. So thanks again for watching. If you've got any questions, comments, concerns, if there's something that's not clear, let me know in the comments below. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye!